Welcome, Sorcerer's Apprentices, to Geek Salad's Retro Movie Reviews, and Happy New Year from the Geek Salad Podcast. I'm Andy.
And I'm Mike.
And today we are starting off 2020.
Wow,
with,
yeah, I know.
I know. With not so much a movie review, but a series of quickie little reviews. Some for most for movies we've seen, some for movies we haven't. And this is going to kind of play into the bigger picture come April when we discuss. We usually have designated April as our Disney month.
Yeah.
On our podcast. So what we're going to do is we're going to discuss some of these movies, and then we're going to put a poll for our friends on Twitter to decide which within the series of animation eras, which Walt Disney animated movies we're going to cover. All right. So there are about 58 movies we figured out. Is that we figured out?
Yep. And so, come November, 59.
Oh yeah, that's right. What is the 59th movie?
Raya and the Last Dragon.
Okay.
Which from the footage,
it's so tough now because it's like there were certain Pixar movies that we think are Disney movies, and some Disney movies we think are Pixar movies, and it's
and Pixar's got 2 coming out this year. Onward and
that's
Soul.
right, exactly. Onward looks much more interesting, but we'll see.
Well, we've only got like a brief shot of Soul, so
right, exactly. So and Onward comes out in 2 months.
Yeah, March,
which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I am too. I'm really looking forward to that one. All right, so let's get this list started because this is not a short list.
No.
But there's going to be certain eras where it's going to be like, did you see it? Nope. No. Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
And by the way, the majority of these movies are available on Disney Plus. So feel free to watch them. There are a few movies that aren't appearing yet due to either their agreements with Netflix or their agreements with Netflix. I think that's really the only thing keeping, and except for like the current theatrical release.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to start off with the very first one, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Yes.
You like it?
I have not seen this one.
You've never seen Snow White?
Yeah, I know. For all the for all the gaps in my Disney knowledge, this is the big one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you absolutely need to watch this one.
Oh, trust me, it is on the very short, top list of my long list of things to see. But it's just, from all I've heard, it's important, but it's not necessarily great.
Right, and that's my takeaway with the movie is that it is what it is, and it is the first full-length animated movie. Good on you for that. Snow White is dumber than a bag of hammers, though.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah. So it's not really a go-to. And I know I've mentioned this before, but it really irritates me when I'm like AFI, which doesn't do the list anymore, but they used to do those top 10 lists, and they made it the top animated movie of all time because nothing changed.
Yeah.
Nothing innovated.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, when you can tell freaking Shakespeare's Hamlet with lions.
Right.
That's a pretty darn good movie.
Yeah. All right. So the next one, the second one, Pinocchio.
Yeah. I have seen Pinocchio. It contains one of my most terrifying scenes in all of movie history.
Is it when Lampwick turns into the donkey?
It's when Lampwick turns into the donkey. Yeah. I can't watch that scene again. The movie is incredible, but that one scene I can't. No.
All right. All right. I think that the movie, the artwork in the movie, the backgrounds are gorgeous, and there are some very, very good things about the movie. It's not even in my top 15 in terms of my personal favorites, but it is out of the classics. It's one of the better classics.
Yeah. All right.
I love like that first golden age or the silver age, I believe it was called.
Okay. It,
All right.
yeah. Oh, yeah. It is a great movie, but it's one I can't watch again.
I gotcha. All right. What about the next one? Fantasia.
Yeah.
I love this movie.
I know you do. It, again, it's one of those ones. You have to. You should try and watch it at least once. It's just really boring. It is really boring.
It definitely is. It has to have the right mood hit you. And I mean, Sorcerer Mickey is like my spirit animal.
I love the Sorcerer Apprentice scene. Is I could watch that one over and over and over.
Yeah. I mean, it's so innovative, and I think that in terms of just the overall accolades given to Disney movies, I feel like Fantasia deserves it more than Snow White, even though Snow White was first.
I'll give you that.
All right.
Fantasia, it was say it was ahead of its time is a gross understatement.
Absolutely, considering how ambitious it was, and just the fact that Walt put a lot of effort into making this an experience, and that's something that, while full-length animated movies were still an experience then, to just kind of like up the ante.
Yeah,
you can't go wrong with that.
No.
All right, next up, Dumbo.
Dumbo is always going to have a very soft spot in my heart.
I'm Mets and Mets on Dumbo. Not for any fault of its own. It's just it's too short.
Yeah,
in my opinion, to really make an impact.
It's what, like 55 minutes.
I think it's 10 minutes over an hour.
Yeah, it is short. It is short, but I do think that what they pack into that short span is really good. I mean, you really care for that the Dumbo elephant.
No, you do, and the songs are. I mean, "Baby Mine" is absolutely timeless.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Did you see the live action?
I still have not.
Even though it's on Disney Plus, we haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I don't want it to break my heart.
Right. All right. Speaking of breaking your heart, Bambi.
Again, that's kind of that one scene is such a gut punch.
It is, and it's not so much the gunshot; it's Bambi looking for his mother, calling out to her afterwards
with the snow falling,
which is interesting. Now, my thoughts on this movie is that this is one of the most beautiful looking movies. The background, again, we're talking just the scenery, the scenic artwork is it's insanely good. It's just so good. But and again, this is one that it's built on moments.
Yeah.
And that moment is the big one. And it's funny too, because this is a movie we kind of like purposely avoided our kids watching.
Yeah.
And then when they watched it, they were fine, and we're like, well, why is that? Oh yeah, I forgot they watched Mufasa die.
But we'll get to that one later.
Exactly. All right. Then we get to the wartime stuff, back when Walt didn't have the money to make full-length movies, so they just cobbled a whole bunch of shorts together.
Yeah.
Starting with Saludos Amigos.
Never seen it.
No? Also on Disney Plus. This is one of those movies that, because it's either because they're virtually the same movie, or B, I'm a terrible racist, really blends in with the Three Caballeros. Saludos Amigos, as far as I am aware, is more a look at the Disney animators going down to Central America and kind of figuring out new animation styles through their heritage and artwork. It's not bad. Three Caballeros. I mean, again, it's like I have a soft spot for Donald Duck.
Yeah.
Three Caballeros is more the adventures of the three, but they're short films.
Yeah.
So there's no throughway. There's a lot of they play a lot with live action blended in with the animation.
Well, I mean, I've never seen either one of these, unfortunately, but I love the Three Caballeros boat ride in Mexico Pavilion.
Yep.
And that's pretty much what this is. It's just like, interacting with the live action. It's animated in the live action, and it's just kind of like just a series of scenes.
Right.
With barely a through.
In fact, that it like Mexico and Central America is very interesting. Very much that boat ride.
Yeah.
Then all right. So the next two, Make Mine Music and Fun and Fancy Free, are you haven't seen either of those either.
Yeah, I am assuming they're just a bunch of little short films.
Make Mine Music is more music centric. Like the through plots of all the short films have something to do with dancing or playing music or using music as a way to tell a story. And Fun and Fancy Free has got a lot of the I believe it's got the it has Bongo, it has Mickey and the Beanstalk. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it might have Johnny Appleseed. I'm not 100% sure. I don't remember if it's in there or not. If that's standalone. That also might be a standalone short film, and I probably am thinking that that's where I originally saw it.
I've got it up right here, and it actually looks like it's just Bongo and Mickey and the Beanstalk.
Okay. Well, Mickey and the Beanstalk is also a pretty long short too.
Yeah.
And then we have Melody Time, which is another series of musical pieces. It's almost like they were trying to recapture Fantasia, but on a budget.
That one's got Johnny Appleseed.
Oh, that one. All right.
Yeah.
And it also has Blame It on the Samba.
Yes.
Which is, the Return of the Three Caballeros. So interesting. And then the final one in the the wartime shorts collection is The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this? I have two varied opinions because they are two different movies.
Yes, they are. But they're both very much Halloween type.
Would you call Mr. Toad a Halloween movie?
Well, it kind of ends in hell.
Well, there's that little bit there, but I mean, the Ichabod Crane is definitely a Halloween thing, and I don't know. I think to me, I love Mr. Toad, and primarily what I love about Mr. Toad is just I've talked about this a few times already. The scenery and just the overall immersion.
Right.
Of Frog Hollow of
Toad Hollow.
Of Toad Hall, yeah. I love that aspect of it. And this was coming from someone who was not. I mean, I'm not a stan for for Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. So
I'm not either. But John and I went on it last time we were down there, and it's a fun ride. It's a classic dark ride.
Right, exactly. Last time I was on it was when I went to Disney World in the 90s. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can't go into it on Disney World anymore.
Yeah, that's true. No, it's now the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh.
Yep.
All right, so then the starting after wartime was the first line of the Disney classics. So these mainly started with a lot of princess tales and all that. Cinderella.
Yeah. It's a fine movie. It's. I mean, when you come right down to it, the plot is very simple.
Yeah.
But it is a beautiful one. The songs are great. The mice characters are they're really kind of the scene stealers. So
Right.
I can't say it's a bad one.
She is. I mean, I think my biggest issue with this one primarily is that the two heroes, Cinderella and the prince, who isn't granted a name, are they're just kind of there, and things have to happen to them in order for it's not like Cinderella advanced her own storyline,
So yeah, it's like Cinderella and the prince are kind of the least interesting characters in this movie with interesting characters stacked around them.
Right, exactly. Because while the mice are awesome, and they are now on my character meet and greet bucket list.
Who are
the stepsisters?
Yes. The people that they get to play Drusilla and
Anastasia.
They usually 9 times out of 10 they are really killing it because they personify them so well.
Yeah. All right, Alice in Wonderland.
This is one beloved one that doesn't really work for me. It's a little too trippy.
I feel like there's a lot to like about this movie, but I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of times when I watch this movie, and by the time they get to her trial with the Queen of Hearts, I've already fallen asleep.
Yeah.
And again, it's because Alice is just a precocious. It's not even precocious. She's no other adjectives besides British in there. She doesn't really do much other than, again, walk through the scenes.
Yeah. And everything happens to her.
Right.
I mean, when the most interesting character in the entire movie is the Cheshire Cat, who is half the time he's on screen, he's only a smile.
Right.
And that says a lot right there.
Well, I mean, you also have the Mad Hatter and the March Hare.
Edwin.
I mean, the Tea Party is its most famous scene, and for good reason. I mean, everybody there. I mean, Ed Wynn is just Ed Wynn.
Choose that scenery.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally,
right, Peter Pan. Peter Pan.
I like Peter Pan.
It's so complicated. It's so complicated because I've never been a big fan of the movie to begin with. And age has made it so problematic.
Yeah. You can't
horrifically.
You can't. There is absolutely no good way to say the title of the song that the Native Americans sang.
Yeah. It's funny too because when we watched it with the kids for the first time, it's a lot of like, the Red Indian is slow and dim-witted, and I'm just like, my arms around the kids, like,
yeah, there's no good way to do that song.
Yeah, not at all. And the interesting thing though is I'm not a big fan of this movie, but I will say I have warmed up immensely to the ride.
The ride is definitely one of the more high-end dark rides.
Right, which is then interesting because it's a very simple ride.
Yes, it is.
I just kind of feel like I wasn't a smaller child growing up with this ride, but I see how much it means to my wife when she's on the ride, and that makes my heart happy.
Yeah.
So, which is all you can ask for.
Yeah.
All right. Now, out of the 1950s, the best one, in my opinion, Sleeping Beauty.
Oh, yeah.
Sleeping Beauty is it's gorgeous to look at.
Oh, yeah.
So let me just give you a little backstory here. For Christmas, my mother got us a new TV. So a nice 4K QLED TV. And I'm like, I want to see how the animation looks on this. So put Disney Plus on. I put Sleeping Beauty on. Oh, every picture is a painting. Every frame of it looks beautiful. Not to mention the fact that they're using the Tchaikovsky score from the ballet as its underscore, and then you've got Maleficent.
I mean, let's not blow our wad just yet, because I mean, yes, Maleficent, but Aurora, as opposed to like Cinderella, Aurora is actually a protagonist. She actually
does. Yeah, exactly. She is more aware of her situation.
Yeah.
Than the fact they give the prince a name. It's Prince Philip.
And he is the hero.
Yeah.
Dude, that fight.
Oh my God, it's just so great to watch.
Yeah.
And it's the epitome of this era's Disney animation, in my opinion.
I can't disagree.
I really want to discuss this one in greater length. At some point.
You know what? No matter what the polls say, what the polls do, I say we do still talk about this one.
Awesome. I'm down. Cool. All right, 1960s. We've got 101 Dalmatians.
It's all right. I don't jump out of my chair for it, but it's a fun one.
I enjoyed it a lot. I love that it feels like it's the first modern Disney animated movie. Like it takes place, in or around the time it was made. I mean, Cruella de Vil is obviously Dancing with Mr. Brownstone.
Yeah.
I mean, she's gaunt and skinny, and she's also going braless too. So it's just like it's a lot going. But she is but a lot of it has to do with. I mean, it's as strong as the movie's as strong as its villain, and she's a very strong villain. So
she is.
All right,
and she does steal the show. But I will say though, I will say that the Dalmatians, Pongo and Perdita, I like them. They are good protagonists.
Right, I like them. I'm not a big fan of the pups, but they're puppies.
Yeah.
All right, Sword in the Stone.
This one I have a real soft spot for.
Okay.
I grew up with this one especially.
I know a lot of people who love this movie, and I am just merely okay with this movie. I think a lot of it has to do with I didn't grow up with this movie. This wasn't one I watched as a kid. So when I did watch it, I had a more critical eye towards it, and you can tell. You've got in this corner going downhill is the voice quality of everybody who played Wart. Because there were literally 3 noticeable voices for that one child. And in this corner, you've got all the money that's like being spent on this thing. And I just kind of feel like, I mean, in general, it's a fine movie, and it's like I would consider this to be a very good Saturday afternoon watch. But there are times when I feel it's really slapped together.
But hey, that wizard duel is a fantastic
film. Oh yeah. Most Disney movies, except for some incredibly poor ones, have a standout moment, and that's its standout moment.
Yeah. Madam Mim is fantastic.
All right. One of my personal favorites, The Jungle Book.
I like The Jungle Book, but it's probably not in my top 10.
There's just something about this movie that I adore. A lot of it is, this is kind of like my childhood movie. I saw it in the movie theater. I had like the little golden book. I had the song book with the tiny little record that had 2 songs on it. And I absolutely love Baloo.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is that the movie is all about Baloo. And even when you talk about like the live action movie, your centerpiece, it's Baloo. You have to do that.
Yeah. Although, you know what? I like Baloo, but for some reason, I always thought I always really respected Bagheera.
Oh, I do too. And he's got such a, I mean, Sebastian Cabot had just such a great voice for that.
Yeah.
And even George Sanders as Shere Khan. I mean, they did a great job with the voices in general.
Something I think I also think they did fantastically with the live action.
Yeah. All right, now moving into the 70s, you have the Aristocats.
I have seen it because waiting in line for the main panel at D23, they were playing it up on the TV screen. And that's where I first saw the Aristocats.
So you actually hadn't seen it until somewhat recently?
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting.
That one just never wasn't in my...
It's one of those things. I acknowledge it exists. I acknowledge that, you know, in some cases it's okay. I mean, Phil, oh God, why can't I remember his name?
Oh
now?
yeah.
Damn it.
Hold on. I gotta pull this up.
Yeah.
Phil Harris.
Phil Harris, yeah. I mean, Phil Harris is essentially doing Baloo again, just as a cat.
Well, I mean, when you got Phil Harris, you use Phil Harris.
Right, exactly. It is just like, you know, you were literally the last movie.
Yeah.
And
he's literally in the next movie too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Robin Hood. Again, he's playing the same character. Now he's back to being a bear, except this time he's a brown bear.
Yeah. I love Robin Hood. I really love Robin Hood.
Okay. And again, it's a movie. I don't hate this movie. I don't dislike this movie. I like this movie enough to acknowledge it's a good movie, but I will say that Peter Ustinov is clearly the best thing in this movie. His Prince John is so good, coupled with their animation.
I won't disagree. I won't disagree. Prince John is easily the standout.
Right. I mean, I'm not sure how they referred to this animation back then. I think it was still the Xeroxing animation, but I call it scratch animation because there's a lot of very rough penciling in the final animated print. And it's just, I think for me, it was one of those movies that really highlights a lot of the recycled animation that they were doing at the time.
Yeah, but when I was 5, I didn't care about recycled animation. I cared about the story.
Right, exactly. And again, later. I saw this one much later.
Yeah.
So, all right, The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh.
I think I've seen it. I mean, if it includes the Pooh and the Honey Tree.
Yeah, it does. It's the first story.
Okay, I know I've seen that one.
Right. And I'm sure you've seen Winnie the Pooh and Tigger too.
Oh yeah. So I've probably seen it. It's just I've seen a lot of Winnie the Pooh.
Right. This was kind of a return to the wartime era where they just slapped their existing Pooh animated shorts together and just kind of built a little bit of connective tissue by using the book more as a kind of like, now we move to this story and now we move to this story.
It's a linking book, literally.
Yeah, exactly. All right, The Rescuers. You want to talk about a movie that looks unfinished?
I think I've seen this one.
I saw this in the movie theater and I remember liking it.
I believe I have seen this one, growing up. This is just not one I jump for. It's,
in all honesty, not very good. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that it took forever to make. It's amazing. It took a long time to make, yet still feels like it was rushed out just to get it done and over with. The animation is very sloppy. There looks to be a lot of rough drafting still. Like you could see it underneath the ink and paint. It's like Bob Newhart and Ava Gabor, great. They're good voice characters. And Geraldine Page is Miss Medusa, Madame Medusa,
who is clearly
Cruella de Vil. Also Sans moving that as well. Things you notice that as an adult, but it's just this is a tough one to even want to revisit. We watched it because we haven't seen it in a long, long time, and I'm going back probably about 7 or 8 years since I saw this, and it just looks bad.
Yeah.
All right, ready for the 80s?
Yep.
All right, The Fox and the Hound.
This I remember it's a good movie, but that the ending is hard for me to take.
Right.
The ending is it's another one of those gut punch moments.
Right. It is a very sad ending.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is just one I haven't watched this in forever, and I kind of don't feel like I need to.
Yeah. This is one. It doesn't have the moment I can't watch again like Pinocchio and Bambi, but it's the one I would rather not watch again.
Right. Exactly. All right, Black Cauldron.
I need to rewatch this one because I remember seeing it. I remember liking it, but I also remember it scaring the pants off me.
Okay, we watched this a couple of years ago in our quest to watch every Disney movie. This movie, if we run it through the mill one more time today, it might be a decent movie. I mean, this movie suffers from a lot of issues. The first one being is that they're essentially taking the majority of Lloyd Alexander's story from the second book, as opposed to the first. There's just a lot of stuff there, like it's almost like this should have been a. I'd actually be interested in seeing if they could make this live action, like on Disney Plus,
and actually do each book separate.
The Tale of Three, just do the Tale of Three as a Disney Plus thing. Thank you, Disney. You can send the royalty check to me. There's the issue I think is just that it's overloaded with studio notes and a lot of slapdash animation and just this need to just get it finished.
This is the movie that actually caused Michael Eisner to be brought in.
Right, exactly.
But
I remember when it came out, I was really excited for this movie. I never saw it until just a few years ago.
Yeah, like I said, I need to rewatch this, but I do remember, I know the Horned King is just flat out terrifying. John Hurt's voice.
Yeah,
and
amazing he doesn't show up in the Disney park, right?
Oh well, he does in Japan, I believe. Well, at least he did. I don't know if they took him out, but I know he was there fairly recently.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, the ending is very satisfying for me. The sacrifice.
Yeah, no, I like that. Gurgi is Jar Jar Binks levels of annoying though.
He is, but he becomes lovable in a way that Jar Jar Binks never has.
Right. All right, moving on. The Great Mouse Detective.
I don't think I've ever actually seen this one.
Okay. So I'll be quick then. It's not bad. It really isn't bad. It's got a solid story. It doesn't expect you to really know it. Radigan's awesome. It's Vincent Price as the villain. I mean,
yeah,
how can you go wrong? And it actually is a more enjoyable movie to watch if you think that Radigan is Basil's spurned lover. So go on to Disney Plus and watch it as if Radigan is just a jilted ex. Keep that in mind.
I mean, it's so weird that I haven't ever seen this one because I loved Sherlock Holmes growing up. I still love Sherlock Holmes, and I've always wanted to see this one. I've just never sat down and put it on.
This is a solid movie. This is definitely one that, if I was going to give you like the friendly recommendation, this is the one I tell you to watch. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, Mike. Most of the stuff on this list is going to be homework. This isn't The Great Mouse Detective isn't homework.
Yeah.
All right. That brings us to Oliver and Company.
Another one that I've always wanted to see, but never have.
It's not good. I tried. It's just like, because so my wife was, this came out in 88. So my wife was 11 years old when this came out. So she's got some fond memories of it. I'm fairly sure my sister-in-law, who was only 6, have some very fond memories of this. I remember being sold on the fact that Billy Joel was one of the voices.
Hey, don't get me wrong. I do like the soundtrack, especially, Why Should I Worry and You and Me.
I'm just like, I think part of the issue with this movie is that it just feels like the swan song of failing Disney. And I mean,
okay,
you can watch it and you can agree to disagree with me on that. But it really, because with hindsight being 2020 and 30 years now of retrospect to look at, Oliver and Company just doesn't stack up to what comes after it.
No, it's kind of like the forgotten middle child.
Right. Bookended also with The Great Mouse Detective.
Yeah.
The Great Mouse Detective, which is also Clement and Muster and Clement as well. And that probably has a lot to do with it.
Yes.
It really is the late 80s Odd Man Out. And speaking of what followed it, The Little Mermaid.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. I mean, bringing on Ashman and Howard.
Menken. Ashman and Menken.
Ashman and Menken. Yeah. Howard.
Howard Ashman.
Yes. Bringing on those two is probably the most brilliant thing that Michael Eisner did during his tenure.
I agree with that. Now, with that said, out of like the Renaissance era, this is my least favorite out of the Renaissance era movies. And we know where it ends. We know where the high water mark is on that era ends. But out of those 4 movies, this is my least favorite.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it has a lot of the ghosts of the old Disney, the old Disney animation studio in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you're right. And anyone who looks at the 3 movies following this, there's no way you can say otherwise.
Right.
But it is the beginning of that brilliant era. So while it does have, it's the lesser of the brilliant eras, it's still in the brilliant era.
Right, exactly. And I mean, there was better things to come.
Yes.
Which brings us to the 90s and Beauty and the Beast. Actually, no, I'm sorry. There's one in between that.
Yes,
the rest
you're right.
Under.
And
I haven't watched this movie since it came out in the movie theater. I went to this in the theater. I went to see it by myself. It's okay. It's better than the original. I'll give it that. It's better than the original Rescuers.
Yes, that much I can absolutely confirm because, while I very vaguely remember the original one, I remember this one very well, and I remember enjoying this one.
Right. Right.
Um,
It's one of those weird ones, though. That it's kind of weird that it is part of the Classics series.
I mean, it's the one that everyone always forgets about. But oddly enough,
I literally just forgot about it.
Yeah, it is the very first usage of the kind of like the computer assisted animation.
Right. Exactly.
With
I
the
think it was a
eagle.
waterfall.
No, the eagle flying.
The eagle fly. Okay. I mean, this is one of those movies that eventually will warrant a second watch. I'm in no rush for it.
Okay, fair enough. But
all right,
it is good, and Ava Gabor and
Bob Newhart
are really good in this one.
They are.
Yeah.
All right, Beauty.
Oh, really? Wow! Right before we get to the Academy Award nominated. Yeah. Well. Hey, he's the mouth. All right. So, yeah. But well, I can talk a little bit more about Rescuers Down Under. I mean, we've got George C. Scott as the villain. He really chews the scenery.
Who really chews the scenery?
George C. Scott.
Oh, in Rescuers Down Under.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah. Next up, Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast. Academy Award nominated.
First animated feature film to be nominated for Best Picture.
And rightfully so.
It's weird because I think scenery-wise, this movie is just gorgeous.
Oh, yes.
All of the sets, all of the castles, all the backgrounds, all of that looks great.
The use of lighting as well.
Oh, absolutely. And the fact that the ballroom, which was CG, didn't feel CG.
No.
And everyone thinks that we're CG, felt CG.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you though, I mean, the characters' designs for certain characters are amazing.
Mm.
The Beast, the character design is awesome. Gaston's character design, and Gaston is like hero to wine moms everywhere.
Yeah. Again, and the meet and greet with Gaston.
Oh, it's awesome. My son loved meeting. Yeah. Wine moms, all of them. Here's like my only real gripe about the movie, and it's the animation for Belle and Maurice still looks like it was tacked on top of other things. And I don't know if that's just an effect of watching it now in high definition. Whereas before, things just kind of blended together. I'm not sure if that's the case.
I think what it is I don't want to say this because I don't really mean it, but it's when like Belle is the most normal looking animated person in the entire movie.
Yeah.
So when you've got, everyone just kind of looking very wacky and, out there, when you get someone just as normal looking as Belle, you could almost see she looks plain in comparison.
Yes.
I don't agree. Yeah. I think she looks fantastic. I think Belle is fantastic in this.
Right. But you also, then that might be what my eye is doing to me. It's just telling me that she stands out because she is so normal.
Yeah.
Versus everything else.
Yeah.
And this is one I think would definitely warrant a longer discussion.
I would agree.
And one we discussed last year actually was Aladdin, which out of the golden age is the second golden age is my favorite of these four animated movies.
For me, it always bounces back and forth between this one and the next one.
Right.
But usually this one lands on top.
I love the songs. I love more of the songs in this one better than I love the songs in the next one. I mean, friggin' Robin Williams. That's really all you have to say. Robin Williams is the heart and soul and lungs and innards of this movie.
Yeah.
And if you don't have him, you have a very weird grouping of characters that might have pulled this off. I do like Jafar. I love the way that Jafar is being performed. Not the biggest Jasmine fan in this. I actually felt like they gave her more to do in the live action.
I would agree with that. Yes. I like Jasmine, but out of everyone in this movie, she does a bit. You know, she's definitely a proactive heroine.
Right.
But in the end, she is a damsel in distress.
Right. And it's like you have a Disney princess and you don't give her a song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know my thoughts, how much I love her song in the live action Speechless.
Yes.
Oh, I love that song.
So now here is essentially what most consider to be, and I apologize, my cat has just decided to just go like ape shit back here and running around all over the place.
Oh, it's so sad.
Yeah, it's just ran up the stairs. She can't hear you. The Lion King.
Yes.
Considered by many to be the best movie that Disney animation ever did. I'll put it this way. This probably doesn't scratch my top 5. It's definitely a top 10 for me. I just feel that there are better, but quite a bit.
Yeah, this one, like I said, this one and Aladdin will often change places as my favorite animated movie of all time.
Right.
For
me, this movie is all about Jeremy Irons and Nathan Lane and Ernie Sabella. That's it for me.
Dude, James Earl freaking Jones.
Yeah, I mean, James Earl Jones is great in the movie, but he's also in it for like 10 minutes before he's, fed to the hyena, fed to the wildebeests.
Oh, shut up! That one broke my heart every single time.
Yeah,
and I saw it in theaters 5 times.
Really, I only saw it the one time in the theater.
Yeah, I saw
it. We bought it when it came on video on VHS.
Yeah, until The Force Awakens came out, that was the movie I've seen the most in theaters.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Again, I think this is one that we could definitely do a deeper dive into.
Absolutely.
Especially because I'm looking at our time frame right now. I'm like, we gotta speed some of this up. But I know we've got a lot of stuff either one of us hasn't seen.
Yes, yeah, we're getting into the big gap period for me.
Are we starting that now? By the way, with Pocahontas?
We are. I've never seen Pocahontas.
Oh God, this movie. Yeah, I don't even think it looks good. It's just, it looks weird. There's a lot of weird angles in this. Like, character angles are really weirdly drawn. The villain...
It's very angular.
Yeah, and the villain is so one-dimensional.
I like his song. I really do like his song.
Savage is barely even human. That one?
No, mine.
Oh, okay. See how I glitter.
Yeah.
Maybe this movie is better if you consider him to be the jilted lover of John Smith. Oh, God. All right. Next up, one of my personal favorites, Hercules.
I like Hercules a lot. I don't know where I'd put it on my list, though.
Right. I love it because it hit a spot where it's very, very self-referential. It has a lot of fun doing it. I mean, James Woods, for the enormous piece of human excrement that he is, really just kills this one.
And that's the thing, as much as we may not like him as a person, he loves this role. He will do this role at the drop of a hat.
Everything. But people don't talk enough about how good Susan Egan is in this movie. As Megara.
As Meg. Oh,
I love her. She is so good in this.
I'm a damsel. I'm in distress.
And oh, good Lord, we skipped one. 1996, The Hunchback of Notre Dame,
which I never saw. I've never seen.
I have to go back and rewatch this one. This movie is gorgeous.
Yeah. Wow. 2. Whew. We've done 2 before though, so it's not a record yet. Yeah, I mean, I've never after Lion King came out, I really kind of dropped off Disney. So
Here. I'm right here.
Okay, welcome back.
That's fine. I still hear the dog barking. This movie is so full, and what I'm finding now is that this movie is finding a second audience because it wasn't a huge hit when it came out. But I would definitely recommend. This is another one. This isn't homework. This is the assignment of just watch it so you can finally have watched it and form your own opinion on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Mulan.
I know you've seen Mulan, right?
I have noticed. Yes, I have seen Mulan. Oh, hello. Oh, there we go. Whoop. All right, now we're getting into record territory. And what I was going to say is I have noticed that a lot of people are really kind of coming back to Hunchback. I should see it. It is, and the Out There song. I really do enjoy that song quite a bit. The how it juxtaposes from the Cardinal to him being a little bit more hopeful. It's a really good song. But yeah. So moving on to Mulan. Hopefully Andy comes back soon, because I do like Mulan. I haven't seen it in a bit, and I'm really excited for the live action one coming out. That looks gorgeous. But yes, Mulan. Yay!
And back again.
Hey!
Oh my God! It's like we go like a half hour, then nothing happens, then we drop out 3 times. So
yeah,
sorry, folks. Were you talking about Mulan?
We were talking about Mulan.
Yeah, were you talking about Mulan while I was trying to get back on?
Just saying how excited I was for the upcoming live action one.
The trailer didn't win me over.
Oh, it did for me.
Oh,
it did.
Not at all.
I really love that one.
Okay. Well, again, first trailer, and my thoughts on the last time we thought that Aladdin was going to be terrible. So I thought it was going to be terrible, and it was okay. One deserves more of a deep dive because it's such a great story, and there's a lot of good stuff going on. I just don't know if I have much to say right now in a compacted period of time, other than that Eddie Murphy is awesome in this movie.
Eddie Murphy is awesome in this movie. Sorry. Okay. Why am I blanking on her name?
Ming-Na?
Ming-Na, yeah. Ming-Na Wen. Yeah. She is fantastic as Mulan. And Reflection.
I agree.
And Reflection is a just drop-dead, gorgeously beautiful song.
It's a beautiful song. My daughter sang it last year at her talent show, and
I love both the movie version and the end credit version. I like them both.
Yeah, I think we discussed that might be our Disney show for the podcast, where we discuss all of the Disney songs.
I'd be down for that.
All right, cool. All right, moving on. Tarzan, which closed. Well, actually, it didn't really. No, it didn't. No. Okay, maybe close that decade. I don't know. Tarzan.
Yeah, I did.
Have you seen Tarzan?
I have not seen Tarzan.
Okay. It's worth a watch. I'm just going to leave it at that because it's quite honestly, it's more of a showcase for rendering that they were doing more than an actual movie. There's some okay stuff here. Minnie Driver is good. The songs are okay.
They're Phil Collins.
They're Phil Collins, exactly.
And you know what? I like the big four. I do like them all.
All right. And then we have Fantasia 2000.
Never seen that one.
All right. I'm going to go see this in the movie theater.
I knew you would.
Yeah. You know what? Actually, there's a lot of good stuff in here. If you're gonna just select from it, I think Rhapsody in Blue and The Phoenix are both amazing. The animation is beautiful. I mean, I like the songs. The songs are very, very snappy. But this is the kind of thing that is you need to pair it with the first Fantasia.
Yeah. Okay.
Having one of those wine and Disney music nights.
Yeah. Okay.
In your hat. Just felt like it.
I was just readjusting it.
All right.
Yeah. I found the original Fantasia boring. I wasn't gonna jump up and see Fantasia.
Yeah, I mean, this is a little more. This is made more for a mainstream audience than the first one was. There was more celebrity interaction with it.
Okay.
The Donald Duck pomp and circumstances is actually very funny. So again, these are things you can probably find online. Just find the snippets of those pieces. All right. Into the 2000s we go with Dinosaur.
Never seen it. Never seen it.
I saw it twice. Once was because it was in front of another movie at a drive-through or drive-in rather. It's not good. It's not memorable. I say we leave it at that.
Fair enough.
All right.
I'm fine.
The Emperor's New Groove.
I've seen it actually fairly recently for the first time.
In my top 5.
Yeah, I know it is.
Love this movie.
I enjoy this movie quite a bit, but it always feels more like a comedy movie than a Disney movie for me.
You know what? I don't feel that way. Only because the animation style and a lot of the this isn't the kind of movie that makes you forget you're watching an animated movie.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of comedy in here.
Yes.
And I think this is some of their best comedy.
I don't disagree.
Yeah. But it is still an animated movie. And because it's an animated movie, you can do more with the design of the characters. You can do more with, big, skinny, tall. And it really works well with that Incan thing. And again, I wouldn't hesitate to put this into a deep dive. I absolutely think we could get people to talk about this for a deep dive.
I don't disagree. And like I said, I really enjoy this movie. It's just when it comes to Disney movies, it just feels, here's a Disney movie. It feels it's right here. It's close. It's just not quite there.
Right. All right. Next up, Atlantis, The Lost Empire.
Never seen it.
We watched it as part of the get to watch all the Disney movies. It's there. It exists. I have no feelings on it one way or another.
That's another one that's kind of gotten a lot more love as of recent.
It's one of those things. I think that it's just like you got to find something to glom onto, and this is the big one.
Nah.
I don't need to watch it again. Lilo and Stitch. No?
Nope.
All right. I like it.
I know this is one Jonna kind of gets on me about.
All right. I wouldn't poo-poo you watching this one. It's a good movie, but that's where I leave it. It's a good movie. I do not get the fascination with Stitch. I remember sending you text after text when I was at Disney World about what the hell what is with the Stitch.
Yes, you did. He did.
Yeah, a lot. Oh, and I used much more profane terms.
He did.
All right. I'll leave it at that. Treasure Planet. Have you seen it?
No. Have you seen it?
No? Neither have I. Moving on.
Nope. Okay.
Brother Bear.
Haven't seen it.
Nope, neither have I. And I kind of don't even want to see it. It's just one of those movies. Okay. Oh Jesus. Home on the Range.
I've never seen it.
Is this on Disney Plus?
I don't know.
Okay. We can look at that later. We can look at that later. Chicken Little.
Never seen it.
It's so bad. It's bad and it's mean-spirited, and the animation is like, this is what they were going to use as a placeholder because they didn't know. Bob Iger had not yet purchased Pixar. Oh God, it's awful. Meet the Robinsons.
I have seen this one.
Okay.
Because Jonna loves it and Jonna showed it to me. It's okay. She loves it to death. It was fairly predictable. But
it was incredibly predictable. I think a lot of my issues with the movie was I think the filmmakers expected you to have more insight into the movie than you actually had.
I'm trying not to be. I'm trying not to like rip it apart because John loves it so much.
I know. John loves it.
Yeah.
It's not bad. I just feel that there are times when it's confusing.
Yeah. And the big twists. Like the biggest twist. I was like, we knew that though, right? That wasn't a twist. That we were supposed to know that.
Yeah, that
right.
It just seems really obvious.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move this on here. I want to get this done before 10.
Bolt. I have not seen it.
It's a DreamWorks movie with the Disney logo in front of it.
Okay.
The Princess and the Frog.
Have seen it very recently, actually.
This movie is an underrated gem.
It really is.
It's beautiful to look at. It's got great characters. Noni Inoki Rose is so good as Tiana in this as well.
Yes. I had some, noticeable issues with it.
Yeah.
But overall, it is a very good movie.
Yeah.
And Keith David is so good.
Oh, he is. Oh, I love that. I like this movie. Yeah, and this one could very well warrant a deep dive as well. I really do like this one.
Yeah.
Tangled. We've discussed Tangled in the past, right? Haven't we? Yeah.
Yeah. I love Tangled.
Tangled is underrated only because of Frozen, I think.
Even when it came out, it didn't make a whole lot of money.
No, but it was the start of the new Disney resurgence.
Yes, it was just kind of the start of Pixar of Bob Iger's Disney.
Yes, yeah, especially with the computer animation, looking better. I mean, there's a difference of 5 years in between Chicken Little and Tangled. Just watch one scene from each side by side. There's a wicked difference.
And Mandy Moore and
Zachary Levi.
Zachary Levi are perfect. And the villain is interesting. Those characters are interesting. You're surrounded by the Ugly Duckling.
Yes, the Ugly Duckling.
Yes. I
love that song. I love that song so much.
Those characters are fantastic.
All right, Winnie the Pooh.
I don't think I saw this one.
In some countries, this isn't even considered part of the animated canon.
Yeah.
Wreck-It Ralph. We discussed Wreck-It Ralph. We actually did a video on Wreck-It Ralph.
Yes, we did. We both love it.
I really love classic. I mean, John C. Reilly is just awesome in this. This is just this is a roller coaster ride, and it was so much fun to experience.
I knew I'd like this movie. I just didn't realize how deep it was going to be.
Exactly. I was the same way. It took me by surprise how good it was.
Yeah.
All right, Frozen, another one we've reviewed.
Yeah. In fact, I just reviewed it with my girlfriend Jonna.
There you go. That's right. When I
on
was
this very
when I was
channel
doing stuff. Yes. I don't think it deserves any of the hate.
No.
Yeah, sure. But it's a really, every time I watch this movie, I forget how much I like this movie.
Yes.
Yeah, that's really all I can say about it. It's just one of those movies I always like. Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it'd be interesting to do this side by side with its sequel and seeing how that works out. In a second.
Mm-hmm.
Big Hero 6.
Oh, I love this movie.
I really like this movie a lot. It just, I feel this is that kind of lost in the shuffle because you're dealing with so many classic movies all in one lump. This guy kind of gets left out, which is sad. I mean, it doesn't follow a lot of the Disney animated things. It's not a musical at all.
No.
It is more of a superhero movie, but it's just a fun roller coaster to watch.
And it still has that Disney heart to it.
Yes.
The relationship between Hero and Baymax is, especially at the end.
Oh yeah. Crazy. Zootopia, another one we've reviewed in the past.
I might like this movie.
I really enjoyed this one. Just a little bit.
Yeah, I love this movie.
It's amazing how relevant socially a Disney animated movie can be, and it does really take me by surprise how it how a lot of people even to this day still write off Disney as just it's child's fare. And Zootopia's got some deep friggin' stuff going on.
Oh yeah, I mean you watch the trailers, and the trailers tell you, okay, we're going to be doing some stuff here, but like, yeah, okay, yeah, it's a bunny and a fox, and then you get to the movie, and that gets that press conference scene, and your jaw just drops.
Yeah, exactly, and just watching all of that. Unfold. It's crazy. But and then in this release the same year, I think one of my top 3 favorite Disney movies of all time, Moana. Another one we've reviewed.
Again, yeah, this one might still be in my top 5 as well. It is so freaking good.
This movie is crazy good. Mainly because it has, in my opinion, the best Disney sound score since. It may even be better than The Lion King in terms of its song score.
Oh yeah, it is up there. It is. I mean, the songs are great. The score is musical. It is authentic.
Yeah,
so good.
Oh, it's amazing how good it is. I'm just pulling up the rest of my list here because my list cuts off at Moana.
Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Ralph Breaks the Internet. I really enjoyed this one. Hindsight being 2020, I still think that the first one's better. This one is. It's good.
I haven't watched it.
You haven't watched it? It's on Netflix.
I own it. I just haven't watched it.
No excuse. None.
I know.
Okay, and that brings us to this is our final one, right? I'm not forgetting anything?
Yeah, the final one released so far.
Right. Frozen 2, which just got released this year.
Yes.
Last
year.
Yeah, that's true. Damn it, it's 2020 now. All right. I really liked it. I'm not gonna. Obviously there might be people who haven't seen it yet, so I'm not going to spoil anything. If I'm going to say anything about it, I need to not only do a second viewing of it, I need to watch the two of them together, like the first and the second one.
Right.
Because while the story, I enjoyed the story more in the second movie. I love the progression of the story in there. I almost feel like the songs were kind of like doing that Home Alone 2 Lost in New York thing, where the songs were copying the beats, the story beats. I mean, it's almost like if you look into that, the Olaf songs hit almost at the exact same time in the movies. They didn't give Christoph a song in the first movie, and his song in the second movie is awesome.
Oh yeah, it is my favorite song.
Right,
movie.
but the Let It Go song,
Into the Unknown.
I'm still humming that. It's still stuck in the jukebox in my head. So I think a second viewing will really cement. I mean, as of right now, great movie. I really enjoyed it. Glad I got to see it with my kids.
Yeah,
we'll see how it. We'll see. We'll see once it hits the streaming platform how well it holds up on a second viewing.
I really do enjoy this movie. I enjoy it a lot, and I sounds like I like the music a lot more than you.
And again, we didn't spoil ourselves by listening to like the Spotify playlist before we saw the movie. And the movie was out pretty much a whole month before we went to go see it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think I need to go back and I need to rewatch it. But
what I will say is, I like the scope of the second one more, but I think I like the first movie a bit more because it took some risks that I don't think the second one took.
Right. And that's true too, because it was, you're playing it safe with the sequel to the $1 billion grossing movie.
Yeah.
It's just that. And that's it. That's all 58, 9 movies?
58
movies. Jesus. It's a lot of movies. So we definitely know we've got some deep dives to go into. And leading up to it.
And well, you can't say anything. From the footage that I saw of Raya and the Last Dragon at D23, this is one you're gonna watch.
Okay. Well, I don't doubt that. Disney has been must-watch movies for quite a while now.
Yeah, but they showed some they showed some animation of like rain in the forest, and just like water is like splashing down on a leaf, and I leaned over to John. I was like, "Is that real or is that animated?" It looked real, 100% real. Yeah.
Wow. Cool. I'm looking forward to seeing it. All right. So, what are your thoughts on some of these Disney movies? We're definitely going to be doing a lot of deep dives, and we're definitely still going to put the polling out too. But I think this year we have a lot of Disney movies we need to discuss, Mike.
Well, we finally got Disney Plus, so.
Yeah. So, yes, finally. And in March, our friends in the UK will get it as well. So, yay. So let us know it in the comments. What are some of your favorite Disney movies? Which ones you... Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and hit the subscribe button so you get notified on all the videos we do weekly, which we're back to weekly now. It's the holidays. Give us a break. Yay. Also, Mike and I host a little podcast called Geek Salad, where we discuss all sorts of nerdly things. You can find us here at the YouTube channel where our audio launches, as well as at podbean.com, at geeksalad.podbean.com, through the Podbean app, through the Stitcher app, iTunes, or Spotify. You can get us there, and Google Music. Follow us on Twitter at Geek Salad Radio and on Facebook at Geek Salad Podcast. So until next time, I'm Andy.
And I'm Mike.
Yep, that's Mike. And go forth and be nerdful. We'll talk to you later.
All right.
All right, good.